You've talked before about how underrated Brayden McNab is, playing his 800th game tomorrow. But since you've been here, he's been probably one of the constants in the lineup. Just what makes it so rewarding for a player to play that many games, but at the same time still be as healthy and productive as he's been?
Yeah, he's certainly one of our core pieces. You know, you think of usually the big producers, but he's a guy that's a constant back there. We put a letter on his sweater as soon as someone goes out of the lineup. Could easily be an assistant captain or a captain in my eyes, the way he leads. He goes about it quietly. I think every player in the room looks up to him when he does have something to say. 800 games, I mean, there's a guy back then when he started, right? Bounces around a little bit, not sure what you have. End up, if you've ever looked him up, as a big-time scorer in junior. So that's why you see make some plays with good hands. Had to adjust, become a little more physical. Defensive guy, play with the offensive guy, get the offensive guy the puck. So good for him to be able to adapt and find a way to stay in a lineup. And now he's at 800. I'm sure he'll make it to 1,000. So good for him. Puts himself in harm's way. So sometimes the injury stuff, when you're that way, sometimes you're a little bit more fortunate, I guess, than others. But he's found a way, knock on wood, to avoid those injuries. So, but he's probably has something to do with he's such a smart hockey player that even though he's in harm's way, he's not putting himself in bad spots, so to speak. So happy to have him. Glad we were able to re-sign him, and he's a big part of our team.
Does being that smart player also help in the fact that he can pretty much play with anybody, whether it be with Shea or when he goes out of the lineup?
Yeah, I think that he's had a lot of success with Theo simply because they're both good players on a good team and can play to their identity without either one of them stepping on each other's toes, so to speak, or getting in each other's way. So I think they've been a good complement. Having said that, we've seen Shea play great with other people, and McNab always makes people around him better. He's doing it with Corsi now, did it with White Cloud. He just has that ability to calm people down, make the right play, put out fires if need be, because there'll always be fires you're going to have to put out. There's always little mistakes here and there, some reads, and that to me is his biggest asset, his ability to read the play quickly and then make the appropriate play, whether it's with the puck or without it.
Saad's a veteran guy, so I know you knew him before he got here, but have you learned anything about his game since you've gotten him?
Who's that? We're still trying to find his best spot. So learning about his game, he's got good pace, he can finish, tends to play on his side of the ice. You know, you get some wingers that you almost need a rope to pull him back over to the other side, and you got to read off him. He's not that guy. He's up and down the left side. Pierce is very similar in that regard. I think guys that have been in the league and have established themselves know that maybe just to be more predictable sometimes is better. So those are the things I've noticed. He's as advertised. He can make some plays. He got good speed. We have not used him much in the power play, so those are the things I'm not sure where his best fit is on special teams, or even which line for that matter. We had him up with Jack the other day. I think when we acquired him, we were thinking Carly, probably a good fit, some good speed. So we'll see if that plays out down the road. But yeah, I knew he was a winner, a consistent 20-goal scorer, and just a solid, productive, middle-of-the-lineup guy. And that is kind of what he's been for us so far. I think, what is he at, 5 points or something in 7 games? So right on course for what he typically does.
Expecting to use him as much on the penalty kill as you have?
Well, we wanted to use him on one or the other, and I think with a guy like Lavoie coming in, we wanted to find out, can he play the power play? We had our first unit down, so that we're fine there. I don't think anyone's going in there right now that they've done a good job. So once he wasn't on the power play, we discussed penalty kill. He killed a lot in Columbus. So once we found out that's something he was amenable to and was good at, then we would certainly work him in, because it's tough when you have a guy not on either. We've got a few guys like that now. But you got to be careful, because they can sort of sit for a while and get out of the game. We didn't want to do that with him coming here right away.
Bruce, you mentioned after the game the other night, goaltending, maybe your team defense in front of your own net had to be a little sharper. You've seen what it looks like when it's right and when you're going well. Does that give you more confidence that maybe even starting tomorrow you'll get where you need to be?
Well, we have to. I mean, it's the slot battle is probably one of the most important battles in hockey at both ends. You got to control those areas. To me, that's where you put out fires in your own end, and teams if you can keep him to the outside, really increases your goaltender's chances of being more successful if he's not dealing with shots right in front of him. And if he does leave a rebound, you know you're there to clear it. So that's a big thing, and we have to clean that up and be more consistent in what we do there. That's where the high danger chances come from. Typically over the years, we've been good at that. High dangers, if you're not taking care of the front of your net and you're not managing the puck, can go up and up and up, and that makes it, you know, tougher on the goaltenders. So, and we're a big team, so we should relish that part. If we were small guys wanting to be in and out, I'd understand if it was burning us a lot, but we're big bodies back there, and that's our identity, and the guys want that to be their identity. So that'll be a big area of focus, Dave, for March, April. We're kind of at the time of the year now when March comes. Usually you got about 20 games left. We're right there. You got to button up what you do well. So that started this morning. We talked about that. Great, we scored 7 against Chicago. We weren't scoring. We need goals, right? So that was a real positive. We started well, had a big lead. But to give up 5, you know, we have to correct that. Gave up 5 to LA. We have to clean it up. Have to.
Technically, what worked well for you against New Jersey last time?
Everything. It was one of our better games. I mean, not trying to be arrogant. It was one of our better games. We hadn't had a lot that month, so we did a lot of things well that night. I thought it was a game. We ended up winning 3-1. It wasn't even that close. And again, not being disrespectful to Jersey. We were on that night. I would expect they'll be much better. They were off for whatever reason. So I thought we did a lot of things well.